Hey YouTubers, well today on Good Packer Nation Morning we're going to catch up with the Packers win against the Giants and talk about the offense and where they're at right now. We'll make some general comments about where the offense is at, but also take some of your comments as well and have a good time basically. So you're not going to want to miss it. Catch it right now. Good Packer Nation Morning. Good Packer Nation morning, everybody. Tuesday morning, going to do some final thoughts on the Packers versus the Giants, so jump on board. Before we get started, we'll do Packer Nation roll call. Let me know who you are and where you're coming at me from, and we'll give you some shout-outs today before we get to talking about this game that is now in the rearview mirror, Packers versus the Giants, and now, of course, we got to look forward to a big showdown against the Cowboys here right quick. So it's going to be an interesting week. Going to be an interesting show. Who is out there today? Hector is back. All right, good to see you. He says hi to the Packer fam. Trevor, how you doing, man? Go Pack, go. All right. Sean is here. Hey, buddy, how you doing? From California. Tim, good morning there, buddy. My cousin Trent is on from Thayer's Jewelers. Kyle is back. Alex is back. All right, from Long Beach, did I see? Brown is here. All right, good to see you. Scott and Philip is back. Good morning there. How are you doing, buddy? Sam is here. Lori is here. All right. It looks like the crew, the gang's all here. I don't know. I've got in the back of my mind today, I have these sort of like general thoughts about the Packers that I think they're kind of like seed thoughts, but I'm going to go over that as we get started. Hey, DM, Ron, Tom, Jason. All right. Nathan as well from Albuquerque. Take a right at Albuquerque. So Packer offense. All right, this is the thing. We are looking at a Packer offense that we've said all along, and you get Jordy Nelson back. Eddie Lacy looks fantastic. Hopefully he can stay healthy, right? Because he has the ankle injury. But why at this point in the season? We have had plenty of opportunities to have a marquee win. I wouldn't have thought that the Jacksonville game, obviously the season opener, would have been called that under any circumstances. But either the Vikings game for sure, or even the Lions game, or the Giants game in particular, could have been a marquee statement game for this offense. And one of the things that concerns me is we're still looking for this. But I was thinking about this, right? And of course, now we've got the Cowboys coming up. This could be it as well. Again, it's at Lambeau. But I was thinking about it too, and I thought, with the Giants wins against the Giants at Lambeau have been hard to come by in recent years, okay? So where, like, maybe you're like me, give me a thumbs up if you're the same way. I don't know if we talked about it a little bit yesterday. When you went to bed the night of the Giants game, I was unsatisfied with the win. More and more, I am just being satisfied. Rick says it's Rodgers' time to get his replacement. I'm in agreement that he's not playing as well as he did in the past, but I'm willing to hear names about who's going to play better than Aaron Rodgers that we have right now. And if you say Brett Hundley, he can't even get on the field for the preseason, so it'll be interesting. But that's always my question, is who are you going to replace him with? So, Aaron Rodgers had some misses in this game. Jordy Nelson, had the tip ball, which, again, that's kind of a two-way street. The tip ball that ended up in an interception. This is one of the questions. If I had to put a red circle around one of the stats for the offense in this past game, it would be, yes, we had 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. I mean, wow, what's going on? Aaron Rodgers being off. We had Devontae Adams go up for a pass and actually pull off the pass because it was so high, he thought it was for somebody behind him. So we've got to get this squared away. But again, you look at the personnel, and this to me still looks like a team. Like I said, they're still looking for a marquee win. And they're still looking to get on the same page. We've got those issues going out there. All right. Philip is saying that Olivia Munn could play better. You can heart that if you want. That's fun. You put the laugh up for that. That's pretty good, Phil. I bet Olivia Munn could play quarterback pretty good. And now I know what we're going to get in the comment stream, that it's her fault that Aaron Rodgers is not playing well because, because she's out there with him on holding his mouthpiece on the sideline or whatever. That's pretty funny though. So this offense is still looking for a marquee win after an entire bye week, like 14 days to get healthy, extra practice, extra preparation. We still were not able to get that offensive game in which we were able to go down the field and score points the way we need to, especially in the second half. I believe Aaron Rodgers has yet to score a touchdown in the second half. So yes, we still need this marquee win. But here's the positive side of that to me right now. This is what I was thinking about this morning, because the question was just asked a minute ago. Can we get it against the Cowgirls? Was how it was stated. And I think the answer is yes. I think this is going to be a tough one. However, had we really dominated the Giants, I would have had the small concern in the back of my mind, even though I think the Packers are very good at hedging against this, that the Packers might have gotten a little bit overconfident with a game coming up against the Cowboys. You come off a big emotional win. This was not a big emotional win. Yes, we were happy we won. But everyone on this Packers team, from the head coach on down, knew that we had to do more after this game. I mean, we should have scored more points. And what's the deal with still the critical penalties taking points off the board for us right now? We are not a penalty-prone team, but right now we are a team that is prone to penalties at the absolute worst times right now. So we have to put together two halves of football. This is not the way to play out a season in which, look at what we've got. I mean, look at who we've got, what we've got in front of us. We've got a November in which we don't see Lambeau Field. We've got every freaking team on our schedule is a playoff team right now. I'm going to go over that in a minute. And we have got to get out there and get this statement win. And the Cowboys game would be a great one to do it in. Can we get it done? Yeah, I think we can. Will we get it done against the Cowboys? I'm not sure. Prescott's playing some good ball, and they've got an awesome offensive line. Then there's two ways to beat Aaron Rodgers. One is to keep him in the pocket and collapse the pocket, because even when he has 5 or 10 seconds, if you can commit extra DBs back there and still slowly collapse the pocket. You saw in the Giants game, we made a very, very reasoned effort to get Aaron Rodgers out of the pocket and let him throw on the run, because that's when he's most dangerous. He can have those 5 seconds all day long when he's dancing around inside the pocket. If they collapse that pocket on him and keep him from escaping the pocket, if they collapse, they're not going to find anybody. We've seen this. So the other way is to keep him off the field with a running game, and that is the Cowboys' MO. I mean, Prescott's been playing some good ball. I don't think he's thrown an interception yet. But, it's Ezekiel Elliott is going to be a handful for us. However, like I said yesterday, I'm excited for our defense to have this challenge. All right, how about this? Now I'm bringing these two things up. All right, NFL.com they post this year. They started this. They post a playoff picture, and they've been posting it already. Okay, they also post, of course, we all know power rankings. Now, don't think that I take too much stock in these things. But here's the deal, all right? This is what I wanted to talk about. Number one, Packers dropped 2 slots to number 7 in the power rankings, okay? Now, again, who cares to some extent? But is our arrow pointing up or our arrow pointing down? Nationally speaking, a lot of people who would have been on the Packers bandwagon are realizing what we have said all along is this Packers offense still has not hit its stride. And then the playoff picture, look at this. This for all the people. For all the people. Let me call it. Packer Nation knew that this sort of supposedly weak strength of schedule was bogus. And the NFL put our schedule together as if we really and truly had a weak strength of schedule. They put a devastating schedule together for us. And look at who is in the playoff picture right now. You've got the Vikings, you've got the Cowboys, you've got the Falcons, and every single team that is right in the mix of any playoff picture, any scenario you can put together is on our schedule right now. And we'll be fortunate if we don't play all of them away, because we will have the Vikings at home, but we got to play the Falcons down the road. Every single team. And then you look at every team out there that is on the rise. All the NFC East teams, we got to play every single one of them. We got to play the Seahawks. We got the Cowboys this week. We got the Falcons away. This is a devastating schedule, and it is time for our offense to get on the same page and get some things fixed. Our offense, I think, again, we still have the personnel to be great. We still need a marquee win, though. I'm not sure what to say about where our arrow is pointed at this time. Tom says, fight, fight, fight. I love it. Yeah, we're going to do it, too. We're going to do it. Yep. Yeah, and Javon is saying, yeah, Falcons coming up. This is not, every single team we meet right now is a potential playoff team. All right? Now, on the other hand, okay, so I don't want to rant about the offense. I see my feed is getting slow again it's time to call charter for crying out loud. But I don't want to rag on the offense too much because we could talk about this all day. There's, basically one of the key stats I think in this game is the fact that Aaron Rodgers threw the 2 touchdowns, but then we also had 2 picks in this game. Very uncharacteristic, very symmetrical. It makes me think if you want to talk about an arrow and where it's pointing, I'm saying we're kind of flatlining right now. I don't know what to say about this offense, okay? But I'm not going to belabor that point because we want to talk today about the defense. Guys, this defense, they are starting to really click. The defensive rotation. Now, we saw in this game, one thing we did see was, and the Giants were not able to connect on this, but we had a play in which Joe Thomas, inside linebacker, had to pass a receiver, a tight end, I think, off to Ryan. That was a disaster. So, again, we know that there are going to be possibilities for mismatches, but we get Pennell back, and we've got a defensive line rotation that's getting a little deeper. Our outside linebacking group is and Elephants are just tearing it up. Matthews is in there, but now we got Kyler Fackrell who's showing consistency and developing with the strip sack. Kelsey's given a thumbs up. Yeah, let's do thumbs up for the defense right now because the offense is getting closer. The offense isn't as bad as it was last year. And so if the offense can take another step forward, this defense is holding scoring teams. Giants were the number 6 offense in the league. Keep that in mind when we have all of these question marks about how terrible our defensive backfield is. Our defensive backfield has been missing Sam Shields pretty much since the beginning of the season. We've had to throw Micah Hyde into the fire. We came back, Demarius Randall, last-minute scratch, and we are not giving up very many touchdowns right now. And it's thumbs up time for this defense. I got to give, it's hats off to Mike Daniels out there. LaTroy Guion with the batted ball. Kyler Fackrell, rookie out there making a difference, being an impact player. Obviously, we know Daniels and Perry are kicking butt and taking names right now. We got, Julius Peppers coming in limited roles. We've got, obviously, Clay Matthews. We are very excited about what Blake Martinez has done in the inside linebacker position, what Jake Ryan is doing in his second year, and how Joe Thomas has come back and made a statement this year that he belongs. Then in the defensive backfield, this is where we thought our depth was. This is where we thought our strength was. We've got a hiccup, a bump in the road, but we've got guys stepping up. We've got Ladarius Gunter back there. Hats off to Ladarius Gunter, who is having a good year. Hats off to Micah Hyde, who is so versatile. The guy plays so smart. He doesn't have the physicals of some other people. But, man, the guy plays so smart. And Jared is mentioning HaHa Clinton Dix. Hats off to HaHa Clinton Dix. And I was so happy to see he and Morgan Burnett back together again, baby. That's a 2-headed monster waiting to happen out there. Hats off to a defense that has held, I think, in total, well, I guess it was after the Giants game they calculated this, but so far the rushing yards are at like 174 rushing yards for all teams over all games so far this year. And that is why this Cowboys matchup, I got to do the eyebrows. That's why this Cowboys matchup is so exciting, because it is a big challenge. I mean, you got to give credit, and you saw Nick Perry, he gave credit to the Cowboys. For coming in, you got a couple of rookies, jumping into the, thrown into the fire, right? And they are doing a good job. Most of it has to do with, I believe, the fact that their offensive line is just astounding. And that's why when you see running backs exit the Cowboys, they suddenly disappear off the face of the planet, basically. But it's going to be, but look at, we have met good offensive lines, supposedly. We made the Vikings, who spent all that money on their offensive line, we made them look silly. We have to keep this up, and this is the perfect game, and this defense is in the locker room and in the film rooms with their cut up. They are talking about this Cowboys defense and what a great challenge it's going to be. It's going to be a big one, but it's going to be a good one. And I just don't see this defense fearing anyone in the league right now. We are not afraid of anyone. And I got a big-time thumbs up for that. I can heart that, because our defense is they're playing with poise. They're playing gap-sound defense. They're playing their responsibilities, but they're also playing out of their heads. They're playing a little bit angry and with a little bit of an edge. And every game that goes by, you guys who've played, if you played defense, you guys know this. Every game that goes by, when you make a statement like that against the run, the next game it becomes even more important to you to not give it up. We're not giving it up this time. And I can't wait to give Ezekiel Elliott his true introduction to the NFL. All right? I can't wait. Yeah, Zeke and Dak. What are your guys' comments? What do you guys think about this upcoming game against the Cowboys? Jump on. What are your keys to the game? Obviously, you know what I think right now. The number one thing our defense has been keying on and always will key on is to stop the run. We've got to go out there and stop the run. That is going to be no small order. Against the Cowboys, it's not going to be easy, but it's so much more satisfying when it's not easy. It's so much more satisfying to pit yourself against the best and to destroy them. And that's what I hope we can do. Cowboys beast mode, LOLs. DM is here. All right. Always with a good comment. I like it. That's why Ben's saying stop the run. Time to prove we have the number one run defense. It's a good point. Time to prove it. And it's not that we didn't if you were looking before the season began, you would have said the game against the Vikings, we proved it. They've got Adrian Peterson. They spent all that money on the offensive line. But the way it's played out, we all know that the Vikings are not, they're last in the league in the run. So we know that they weren't the prove-it game. We know they weren't. We knew that, the Giants, their running back situation is it's terrible. You got to feel bad for them almost. They can't keep a running back healthy. So we know that wasn't the prove-it game. But then, as Jeff says, destroy the Cowboys. If we can do it against the Cowboys, that very much becomes a prove-it game. And it's the kind of game that a defense can start to hang their hat on and become even more aggressive and take even more of an edge. All right. Rick says, good morning. Well, hey, it's a little bit late in the show. I've already had my coffee, man. But good morning to you. Glad to see you. Stop the run and bring the pressure. And this is the thing is, our pressure, we're able to do a lot with our guys up front. And if we can get, you don't hear anything about Sam Shields, so I'm expecting probably not going to be available for this game. Morgan Burnett, however, it's good to have back. And Randall, we're hoping to have back. He was very close to going on Sunday night. In fact, I think Mike McCarthy said it was about 5 o'clock. They worked him out a little bit and finally made the call to keep him off the field. So, so we need this confidence builder in the comments, right? It's going to be big time. And again, keep in mind, this is one of those games at Lambeau Field. We can't afford to drop one at Lambeau. We want to run the table in these 3 games. And we have to have a good October, and a good October can be a springboard into a lot of good things. But this November that we've got coming up is a very serious. Packers, we need a good Thanksgiving because, frankly, last year Thanksgiving was all but ruined. Like, we had all of this great celebration going on over Thanksgiving, and then to lose to the Bears was like, it just took the wind out of Packer Nation's sails. Well, this November is going to be a tough one, too. We're not going to have all the emotional buildup. But we have got to get out there and get after it in this string of games at home. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to get any easier. We know that much. All right, so Packers versus the Giants. Okay, so here's you know what I think about the offense. I'm going to wait for a second. We got offense still needs a statement game. I'm on the plane with the offense. Defense, I'm loving what the defense is doing. You know, we need to get the defensive backfield healthy. We need some guys to play better, no question. If we start, we said this, I think, last week, if we start to play better in the defensive backfield, we are going to be a turnover machine because of the pressure we're able to get and the way that we're able to stop the run, force teams to throw the ball. Number one, teams that are not well equipped to throw the ball, they will have to throw the ball. Teams that even if you are well equipped to throw the ball, our pressure, if it gets there, if we start covering better, we're going to have tons of picks. However, the caveat on that, we all know, is you have to catch the ball. Morgan Burnett with a brilliant, athletic, almost interception in this game. And Miguel says it's a must to run the table right now. I think so too. So yeah, defense, we've got to start catching the ball back there. We've seen too many balls on the ground that should be ours. All right, so special teams. I think they've taken a step back. There's no question. They took a step back the minute we made that stupid, boneheaded decision on our punter. And we've got Zook up there again saying he's going to punt. He will punt better. He knows he has to punt better, and he will. No, he won't. If he hasn't kicked a good ball in 4 games, he's not going to all of a sudden start to learn. He's not going to learn how to punt by punting in the NFL with all the pressure on him. It's not going to happen. He's not going to get a stronger leg. You know, sure, as long as we punt from our opponent's, 30-yard line, we'll be able to drop it on the 5. But if it's at the 40, we probably won't get it there. We got somebody asking if Eddie's going to be okay. Eddie says he's going to be okay. Of course, the doctors will make the decision. I'm going to repeat that. Eddie says he's going to be okay, but the doctors will make the decision, of course. And we'll hear Wednesday the injury report comes out. Mike McCarthy seemed very positive. And the other guy that we're all wondering about right now is Jared Cook. How long is it going to take for him to get back? Over the bye week, Mike McCarthy kind of, leaked it out a little bit that he expected it might take a couple weeks, but he didn't seem concerned. So Eddie Lacy, I think, will be okay. So we're going to have to just grit it out until he's healthy, because you don't want to put him back on the field before he's healthy. Same thing with Jared Cook. We're just going to have to find a way to win until he's healthy. And Brian is making the comment here, wait until winter. It's going to be horrible if the punter is still there. Field position is important. We talked about this. This was one of our keys and McCarthy talked about it, is winning the battle of time of possession, which we finally did against the Giants, and field position. And we were terrible field position-wise. This was our worst game. And this punting situation is it's a great comment. It could kill us. It could cost us the game. All right, and I do see a comment I want to talk about. Javon is saying, hey man, J.C. Treader is really fast for a lineman. Wow. You guys, I'm going to go back to the offense because I want to say something positive. I like to come off positive as much as possible. All right, that left side of our offensive line, they block stuff up downfield like nobody in the business right now. Our entire line is good in the run, pretty good, but the right side of our line, I think that they're doing adequate right now. The left side of our line, from Treader and Lane Taylor and David Bakhtiari out there, they blocked some stuff up. Had Randall Cobb not been run down from behind, man, there were so many touchdowns on the board that we were the inches from scoring. And it's all because of the way J.C. Treader, absolutely fantastic comment. The guy is so athletic. And I'll tell you this right now. I think the center position is underrated in football. And J.C. Tretter is becoming a quiet leader on this team. You see him picking guys up. He picks Randall Cobb up after his big run. We see him. He's not a talker, but he goes out there and makes athletic plays downfield. And I think Taylor is following his lead too, because Taylor's a little more of a big guy. You know, as a guard, of course, you kind of expect that. But and Bakhtiari, who is getting out there and is moving very well right now. You know, for crying out loud, if our offense ever does get in sync, watch out. But great comment, and I was watching it again today, and I was like, man, I'm loving the way J.C. Tretter is playing right now. And that entire left side of the line in particular, they are able to do some things and create space and then just eat up potential tacklers out there. They are doing some fantastic things. Yeah, okay, so I don't know. I see Patrick. Is he an angry person or a troll? Just say ban if you need Patrick off of here. I don't know what's going on. What happened to Mastay? That's a good question. I was actually going to check in on him because I think Zook mentioned that a little bit today. And frankly, it'd be nice to think that it mattered. Like if he wasn't, like we would actually do something. But we've had that same experiment too, where we had to pick somebody up in the middle of the field. And I think that's how we ended up in the middle of the season. And man, it's no, keep him. All right, you got it, DM. Go get him. All right. You guys can take care. Uh-oh, we got a ban. Candy wants a ban. I'm not big on it. It's so funny half the time because it's more humorous than anything else. But I haven't seen it all come across. But somebody out there having a rough Tuesday morning. Trevor says, I'm assuming talking about Mastay, that he's still a free agent. We've got to get that squared away, and right now, and I said this. I hate to belabor the point, but I said it. I said what we're going to see is we're going to see another crappy punting game, and we're going to see Zook get up there and talk about how great it's going to be eventually, and it's just not. It's just not. So, all right. Well, at any rate, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. I kind of wanted to go through some more stats and stuff, but the thinking that I had was just to talk a little bit general, because we came back after a bye week, and after the bye week, you got a lot of time to evaluate. We talked about it, offense, defense, special teams, where we at. Well, then you play the first game after, and you got a good, our defense played against a good offense, and they shined. But our offense did, again, an adequate job. They did enough, and they had potential of scoring quite a few points in this game, without a doubt. But then you have, you got the Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb was robbed of his first touchdown of the season. We said Randall Cobb, because the Giants were worst against slot receivers in the league. We said Randall Cobb's going to have a fantastic game. Who had a fantastic game? Randall Cobb had a fantastic game. And we rob him of his first touchdown of the season with a penalty. And then we leave just a few plays on the field. Could have scored a lot in this game, but we don't. So now we're looking at, after coming back off the bye week, I do like some of the stuff they did on offense. I like some of the sets. I like the fact, I thought strategically, they only ran the hurry-up offense a couple times in this game, and the reason was they wanted to handle time of possession. They wanted to make sure they were they knew time of possession was critical, with the defense being a little bit decimated still in the defensive backfield. And this game, offensively, some of the scheme I didn't have a problem with. But the execution, again, we got to go out and execute a little better. The defense, on the other hand, had a great scheme, and they executed well. The special teams have taken a step back. So that's what we've got right now. And Trent is mentioning, if you watched Monday Night Football last night, the Buccaneers with a field goal took the Carolina Panthers down. Feet is busting up on me. Took the Carolina Panthers down. So that's another thing that we can at least smile about, most people. And MJ is saying he thinks, there's some good signs that the offense is getting back on track. I think we are getting closer to some extent, and the reason I say that is because The only thing that keeps these points off the board are, we had one, there was a tackle from behind where we had it blocked up and good to go. I think there was the one, the Richard Rodgers pass. There was also, obviously, the Randall Cobb. It's called back on what I thought was I think that these, offensive players not being set, you see it in every game where offensive players aren't set for a full second before the snap of the ball. So again, but we've got to keep that corrected. But I do agree. I think we are getting closer. But if I was going to characterize the offense, I still think that they are an offense that's not quite in rhythm. So point taken. I do think we can get closer. I don't know that it's going to get any easier for us. Is the problem? I think down the road, we're not going to do it at all. So we're at home games. It's a good chance for the Packers offense to hit its stride. And, by Friday, I'm going to be believing that they do, I think. But we'll watch it a little bit more. And teams are not pressing. They're playing the odds back there. They're saying if we've got enough to take care of Jordy Nelson, which is a tall order in and of itself, we don't want to flush Aaron Rodgers out of the pocket. Let's just use the pressure that we've got up front and try to keep the pocket, try to collapse the pocket. And that's why we saw, and to McCarthy's credit, we saw them trying to roll Rodgers out more because he's so dangerous. So we'll see. Alex says, hey, what's up to everybody? Guys, I'm going to let you go for today. Tomorrow, we will turn our focus to the Cowboys, talk about keys to the game. It's going to be Wednesday, hump day. So I hope your Tuesday goes well. Remember, we do have a big-time game coming out. It's new, if you guys know about it. I had a couple requests come in from people, if I could remember the names right off the bat. But some of you, if you guys are already on the list, and I got a couple requests coming in. So if you sent your request in and you filled out they got ask you a few questions about your favorite sports, et cetera, et cetera. All you got to do is go to greenbaypackernation.com. The first post there will send you to a form that you fill out. It tells you more about the game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait because it's coming out at the end of the month, and we should start having some news soon because beta testing is coming to a conclusion right now. Hey, my second cousin Scott is on. Scotty Brooks, how you doing, man? He says go Pack, all right? Joshua says he's ready. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, one thing, if you're still with me, in terms of the game, if any of you out there are teachers, I can help you use this game as a free fundraiser for your school, okay? If any of you are teachers or have friends who are teachers, connect me to them. Just send us a message on our Facebook page. We try desperately to keep up with the messages on our Facebook page. It's not easy anymore, but let me know. If you are a charity organization of any kind, I can fix you up with the same game where you set up parties and any players you bring can bring your charity income, and it's completely free to you guys if you are any kind of legal charity in the United States, or if you are a public school, I can hook you up. And I'm taking a minute for this. If you guys have to go, I understand. I have such a heart for public schools. My dad taught for 25 years, I think, in the high school. And now what I see is teachers who are, I subbed. I went home every day. I love to teach. I subbed and I went home every day with a headache just because it's a difficult job, and teachers are underpaid, I think, and I see teachers constantly out there sacrificing their own income to bring things and materials that the classes need, okay? So I just wanted to take a minute, and I almost forgot to do it, but guys, and if any of you are listening right now, maybe you don't know a teacher, but you know a principal of a school or something, do what you can. Hook me up with them, if you would, because we can bring them. It's a fun way for the kids to get involved, but they don't have to go door to door and sell cookie dough, okay? Again, it's a free app, all right? So if you have any way of hooking me up, public schools in particular, we have to have, GPN has to have a special license to do this. We have that, now. It's like watching a Chinese movie. All right, it looks like it's catching up a little bit. But public schools are in need of this kind of income, and I can help out. So, or if you're a charity of any kind, just connect me, send me a message, because we have to do a completely separate to get you guys hooked up where you don't pay anything and can get in and get some income, okay? MJ says free. So, all right, guys, well, I will leave it at that. But if you haven't signed up for the game yourself, it's by invite only until it comes out. And you do get some extra perks for signing up early. You'll get a badge, and you'll also hopefully get a few free tokens. You can play, there's freemium play. You can interact with ads to get your tokens, or you can pay if you want to buy packs of tokens, et cetera, et cetera. I think more and more, I think I'm going to end up, I don't know. I'm going to try to play freemium, but I think I'm going to end up going the other route. But because I want to, because I know I'm going to have to keep up with you guys. All right. Feed is killing it and freezing up. Guys, have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Pack, go. Get the ring.